the arrest, detention, and eventual arraignment of Alabi Quadri Yusuf before a Lagos Magistrate Court interrogate Section 35, which deals with the right to liberty, and Section 36, which deals with the right to fair hearing under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. And it raises fundamental questions about how the youngster got arrested, detained, arraigned, and eventually remanded in prison for an offense that he didn't commit. For a 17-year-old young boy charged for armed robbery, one would have expected that his age would have been in issue. Unfortunately, the court to which he was arraigned and the magistrate who sat on the matter didn't have the presence of mind to, one, scrutinize its own jurisdiction as it relates to armed robbery, and two, the culpability of a young boy at 17 who the law assumes ought not to have been brought before a magistrate court. The Armed Robbery and Firearms Act, or laws of our different states, are very clear on this point. However, in a rare moment of clarity, if you like, prosecutorial and judicial clarity, the Director of Public Prosecution, Lagos State, advised today that the youngster had not committed the offense for which he was arraigned before a court that had no jurisdiction to even entertain the matter in the first place. And accordingly, he was discharged and asked to go home by the magistrate. Let's pause here for a while, particularly for those who do not know who the youngster Alabi Quadri Yusuf is. Is that young boy who, in an iconic pose during the presidential campaigns in 2022, stood in front of the presidential convoy of Mr. Peter Obi, his arms spread as children do spread their arms when they welcome their parents in that Baba Oyoyo or Mama Oyoyo way. Given this fact, it's important for us to raise those issues that underscore the very broken nature of our criminal justice system, the cracks in our criminal justice system. And of course, it raises the fundamental question again of, one, was the criminal complaint made to the police against this youngster actually investigated by officers of the Nigerian police force? My brief answer here will be some reference to the press statement issued by Alabi Quadri Yusuf's lawyer, the irrepressible Inibe Effiong, who, among other things, highlighted the fact that the police, the ballet of the very community that the young boy was staying before he was snatched, all operated in cahoots in ensuring that this young man was thrown into prison. So in effect, the police did not investigate the criminal complaint. And two, this point is very fundamental. It raises or touches on what I consider as judicial lethargy. Again, if the magistrate had the presence of mind when this young boy was hauled before it a year or two ago, he or she should have been able to raise fundamental questions as they relate to the jurisdiction of magistrate court to entertain the criminal complaint of armed robbery brought before it. And the specific charge that itemizes out the age of Alabi Quadri Yusuf, you should have caught the attention of the magistrate. But unfortunately, the magistrate didn't have the presence of mind to look at the jurisdiction of the court and the age of this youngster. But there's a wider question that we have to deal with as we celebrate the release or the discharge of this young boy. One, the whole question about citizens languishing in prisons across our country for offense or offenses they never committed. Alabi's case is not a one-off case. It underscores the broken nature of our criminal justice system. And if we continue to joy or to celebrate the release of this young boy, we must also begin to ask questions about the criminal or broken nature of our criminal justice system. There shall be no greater joy than asking the state for accountability and for audit of youngsters, citizens of our country, languishing in the prisons of our country. Finally, my gratitude goes to my colleague Inibe Effiong and the young Nigerian lady, Hausa girl I think is her name, or alias, who brought Alabi's case to the attention of Nigerians. And of course to Mr. Peter Obi, who showed a sense of empathy, if not compassion, in ensuring that some legal representation is given to this young boy. Quadri Alabi Yusuf, welcome to the outside world. Congratulations.